So who's the silly sod getting up at 10 to 5 in the morning? Well, that'll be me then. Let's see what I'm doing.
Wait. Matron, take them away. Oh.
A warm welcome to one and all. And if this is your first time here, I am the big fella. That is the Scruffy trader. And it's currently 10 to 5, 5 to 5, something like that. I've been up watching the AU200 because my phone's been pinging and panging like there's no tomorrow. And I'll touch on that a little bit later in the video. Because yesterday was quite a bit of a revelation for me, in the sense that most people are destined to fail, and I'll touch on it. But in the meantime, I'm kind of doing something for Jordan. A little salute to you. Must have had my spider sense or something, this one. Because I woke up and there was a big surge in the Australian market. I looked at it and, like I say, my phone was pinging and panging anyway. So I answered all the messages off. And I looked at this and I thought, that's interesting. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll come on to it and I'll break it down. Now, it rocketed away at the open. But it also rocketed to the top of its range. That's what this grey box is. And it is now pushing aggressively down. Well, that can give a good opportunity to get down onto here. So let's have just a little quick look at this. All right. If you don't know how to work a range out, you do it with an ATR. Okay. So let's have a little look. So if I drop on retracement on that 38 is shining pretty much a good light on this level here. Okay, so that's what's capturing my eye and giving me a target point. Now also, if I put an extension on this, and I haven't done this as yet, so I've just started working this out, it went crack to the 127. So there's a number of elements here. Now, a market can push up aggressively, but there has to be some form of release. There has to be, because the pressure can't contain that much. And if you put your oscillators on, etc., they're going to be stretched. So what I wanted to do was let the hour close, which is kind of why I got my coffee, because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. And trust me, at 5 o'clock in the morning, he needs it. So kind of say, I'm not sure whether that'll show you on there. Is it working? Here. Get on there. There you go. The bug of this camera. Just so you can see what time it is. Alright. 2 o'clock in the morning. And that'll be represented on the chart. Because one of the things that I don't do is use TradingView, rollback charts, all that sort of thing. I think they're the devil's work, and pretty much if somebody's using TradingView, they're probably not trading. They already know the outcome. But what I'm trying to represent there is you can see what time it is on my phone, and you can see what time it is on the broker. So, if that's the case, why am I doing it? Probably because it's stupid. But I love my job, and I genuinely enjoy, for the most part, the interaction I have with people. Probably about 70-80% of the messages I get through are pretty good. Oh, I'm a little bit stuck. Can you look at this? But the rest of them, I sometimes wonder what goes through their mind. I genuinely do. because that last 20%, they kind of split down into clowns who were just basically gamblers and people who just got too much time on their hands and like to hurl abuse. Now, I get it all the time, and I do bring it up in here for a very good reason. It's a little bit of therapy for me. Because I don't want to bottle it up, I just get it out. And these people that annoy me, that's all they do. They annoy me. You know, they used to upset me a while ago. The only thing that upsets me is when they sort of have a pop at you on. And my answer to that one is always the same. I don't care who you are or what you are. I'd love you to say that standing in front of me. Because I don't think you'd last 2 minutes. I genuinely don't. And I can say that, and I'll even tell you can come knock on my door for all I care. But that's the way of the world, you know. Anyway, cut long story short, I've had a torrid week, but I always feel compelled to push it through and be better and kind of prove my point. But something that's apparent is shiny bollocks. And that's, you'll see something that's good, so you'll jump on it. How do you do that? How do you do that? And then you see somebody else do something that's completely different. Oh, right, I'm over here now. How do you do that? How do you do that? Oh, somebody else has done something. Oh, how do you do that? How do you do that? And what you'll find is you get nowhere. Nowhere at all. Because it's a waste of time. And that's something I'm going to touch on after I've done this. Okay? So let's have a look at the trade. Let's break the trade. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the psychology of trading and why you're failing. And let's be honest, most of you really need to give this up. And I know that's an odd thing from a trading channel, but I don't sell anything, so I don't give a shit. Right? I genuinely don't. And the other side of it is, it's probably tough love telling you to give up. Because out of every message I've had this week, not one of them's going to make it. Not one. Because they're all gamblers. They won't listen. And basically they're chasing money. So give up. That's my advice to you. Just give it up. Anyway, let me have a look, see what we're doing. Right, it's just turned 5 o'clock. And this is starting to come into play. I'm going to drop an order in under here, because I think this is going to sell. I want it underneath there. So just got a little order into that. Now, just want to show this up a little bit. That's it. We're in. And we're coming down into this. So, why wait? Why look at this? I like to see a chart show its hand. Okay? And what I mean by that is, I don't want a flash in the pan. I want to see it give me something. So what's it showing me at this moment in time? I know it's at the top end of its range. I can see that. I can see it's at a key level. It's hovering around it and it's kind of pushing into it and figuring it out. But I've also seen it sell off for the last 30 minutes and big volume selling off. Well, if something like this moves up, it can't sustain. So we'll drop a fib into it. Let's have a look, see what that fib has to say. Well, there's your 23. Just there. Underneath the level, at the 23. And we're at the start of a new hour. Pushing down. Okay, starting to push back up again. No big shake, because I already have this measured out as to where I think it can go. So where can it go to? Well, it can go to here. So I'm happy to build a position up into that to then come down if this one fails. It's not out of the ordinary. So that's what we're going to do. I'll leave it on a 5-minute chart. Just like so. and we'll see if it plays out. Now, it's not an overly difficult trade, not particularly. So let me just drop some orders in. And then while we do sort of watching the candles, I'll have a little bit of a rant of sorts. But let me do this first. See what it is that I'm building up. Okay. Sell that. I just want to put the first 3 orders in. And if I get 50 quid out of it, I'll be more than happy. More than happy with 50 quid. Right. There. There. Okay. So what I've done is, just so I can kind of clarify what I'm doing. I know that's the top of the range based on sort of the hourly, the dailies, etc. I've also got key levels in. Now, if the price is trapped between 2 points, then that's my trading arena. That's where I'm going to work. Now, the day arena is actually at the upper end, which is this. And yeah, it broke through, but then it aggressively came back. Okay, so that tells me it might be running out of steam a little bit. And we're coming to the end of the Asian session. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's had a good run at this. Markets rotate, you know, they'll push up, they'll pull back, all this sort of thing. So it's that I'm sort of looking to capitalize on, that rotation of the market. Now, I could be wrong, which is why I don't go full position to start with. What I'll do is I'll put my toe in the water and I'll build up to a maximum position. If I get to it, great. If I don't, it doesn't matter. It's just part of the plan and part of protecting the account. That's the whole premise of what we do. Now, as traders, it's all about the planning. It's about the homework, which is why my levels are in place. I know what the range is, all of this sort of thing. But I'll kind of get on to some of the sort of messages and the way I'm spoken to at times. They genuinely think there's a magic pill. There's not even close to one. Any system will work, any. And it doesn't matter what you do. The difference is having the patience and the conviction to stick to it. But you don't. You'll jump from one to the next. Now, I've got a pretty good run. I've got a good track record. I mean, you saw, if you were watching the videos yesterday, you'll have seen that I pulled that out the market yesterday. That was my yesterday's wage. You know, it was systematic, controlled, and done in front of you. Whereas somebody sitting next to me, and I got a message off somebody, and I won't name and shame or anything, but what I will say is the message I got was asking for help. And then when I made an observation, they became really rude, going, well, this is the way I trade. Well, what are you asking for my help for? Because you blew your account simply because there was absolutely no management within it. 19 trades in less than 2 hours. No management of position size because they were all different position sizes that were weird and wonderful. And the losses was catastrophic. And they said, well, the position was correct. I am right. And it was shut down. But it weren't right because it was shut down. It's that simple. I'm assuming it was a prop firm. I think it was a prop firm. But there'll be drawdown limits within that firm. But even if it's your own account, you should have a drawdown limit of, this is wrong, I have to stop. But within those drawdown limits, you also need your position limits, because if you overstress the account, well, you might be right, but you still blow it up because of these oscillations. Let's just show you something, give you a quick case in point. You might think this is going down, which is kind of my view on this. I'm looking for a retracement of this big drive because it's topped out at the top of the range. And you think, right, okay, I'm going short. Well, there's a short there. So you jump in short on this, thinking it's great, which it might be, you know, because it's a good premise. It's a big, thick candle. But if you over leverage the account, in other words, stack your positions so high, it doesn't take a great deal to break the donkey's back. That move, where it's spiked up, would be enough to destroy the account. Why? Because you gambled with it. You haven't put any thought into it. And that's the problem with this industry. It breeds that sort of mentality. You know, oh, if only I had a massive position on, I'd make a fortune. If only. Well, no, it's not if only. It's planning. That's what you need to do. And if you cannot plan it, don't trade it in the first place. So it's an odd one, guys. It really is. So what I'll do is I'll play this out, and then I'll come back to this subject just to give you a little bit of food for thought and into what runs through my mind. But there's a famous quote, and it's my favorite quote. And it is, know thyself. It is the beginning of wisdom. Well, if you don't know what your pain and pleasure thresholds are, you don't have the wisdom. And why is that? Because you haven't had the experience. And that's what this is about. Professional job. And if you can't treat it as such, you just treat it as a slot machine, then this is not for you. I see adverts on the front of this videos all the time. You got the wobbly trader saying every single one of his clients passes FTMO. Absolute horse shit. 100% in this industry? No way. I tested the system that he sells for a colossal amount of money for 6 months. It don't work. You know, it does, but nowhere near the figures that they talk about. Not even close. In fact, it lost money over 6 months. There's another one who always goes, if you're looking at these candlesticks, please stop. Well, he does get on my tits because he is a sleazeball. However, he's right in the sense that professional traders don't drive Lamborghinis. And the other side of it is, please stop. But traders do use these charts. You know, most of the successful people I know use these charts. But they all have one thing in common. And it's what I have up there. Less is more. They're not in the markets all the time. They're looking to enter the market when they feel comfortable. And they'll do it once or twice a day. And they'll manage it in such a way that there's a positive expectancy. Whereas the gambler will trade 5-minute chart, every move, every tick, every direction, and think they're going to be Warren Buffett in a fortnight. Rome weren't built in a day. Well, might have been if I was on the job. No, it's an old thing that we used to say in the factory, because I always wanted everything done yesterday. But I also had it all planned out as well. Anyway, it's too early in the morning for these sort of monologues, isn't it? Let's see if we can get 50 quid out of this, and I'm going back to bed.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, guys. It's been a long old day, but I'm going to kill this off. Bear with me just a second. I do have my stops in place here, but I don't really want it to run on. Right, I'm done. I'm out clean. Oh, what a long day. Now, as you can see here, well, I'm not rightly sure whether you can see it, but where my mouse is, there's actually a fib line. There it is there. All right. It's come back to that fib line and it's bounced clean off it. Right, okay. And Well, sometimes you just got to make a decision. And my decision is this. I started looking at this probably about 4 o'clock this morning before I came on the camera. It's now coming up 3:30, 20 to 4 in the afternoon. And I was knackered, you know. So why not? But I have been working. So even sacrificing that last position of 37, I've still done okay today. And the moral of the story there is a very simple one. Let me flip this off and I'll tell you. Yeah, the moral of the story is quite simple. You start with 0, you end with 1. And all the way through this journey, I've sort of been telling the guys in the Discord where I'm up to. That's what the buy sheets are, and we talk, we have a meeting. And I told them this morning, be very careful around the news, etc. Well, the news came, it presented an opportunity, so I capitalised on that while this was playing out in front of you guys. And the results are in. So, does it matter that I've got a red mark on the screen? No, because I made the choice, not the chart. I did. I decided I've had enough. I just want to be out flat so I can sleep peacefully tonight. Don't like to run day trades overnight if I can help it. And then I'll just do it again tomorrow. That's simple. What were you doing tomorrow?
Working?
I was hoping we were having the day off. Did you see how easy she swayed there? Did you see how easy she was swayed as soon as I said you want the day off? Oh, yeah, it's not a problem. You know, I wish it was easy in other ways. You're going to put that bikini on? No?
Too cold.
You going to do something else then?
I never know what to say because I don't know what you're thinking.
Well, it's tea time. I was hoping she'd say she'd make me tea.
Oh, well, there you go.
But she won't. And I'll tell you why she won't. Because it's my turn to cook tonight. So I've got to do it. And no, before anybody asks, we're not going to the pub. I'm actually going to do some cooking. How good's that? Because my lasagna is fantastic. Do you like my lasagna?
It is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likes it when I'm in. So there we go. So that was a long old day. Scruffy's knackered. He had a royal rant this morning. And it was a royal rant as well. And I'll tell you for why it kind of manifested itself before I go. If you're in the squad, you'll have probably got the back end of that because I was livid this morning. Sometimes the way this industry is sold is pathetic. And it's pathetic to the point that it's borderline immoral. And what I mean by that is the shiny bollocks. They tell you you're going to be rich. They tell you it's going to be easy. And they tell you you're going to make a fortune from little to no money. No. But you believe it. And then when it doesn't happen, you lash out. And you lash out at the ones who can do it. Now, if somebody asks me for help, and I point out a few errors of their way, that is exactly what it is. It is help. Because I genuinely want you to succeed. I genuinely want you to move forward in this. But what I don't expect is somebody then to argue with me because I've said what you're doing is wrong. When you already know you're wrong because you've asked for help in the first place, if that makes sense. And then you'll show me the figures, which are complete mess. No plan to them, no structure, borderline gambling. Well, it's not borderline gambling, it is gambling. And you say, look, this is what you need to do to calm it down. And then they argue about it. To me, that's stupid. It's absolutely stupidity. And on that note, I will say my favourite thing, which is give this up and go work in McDonald's. You will be paid better. And I'll tell you why it's my favourite thing, because it's called tough love. And I would hate to think that you put a lot of money into this market and then just piss it in the wind when you could have gone and flipped a few burgers and actually had some money in your pocket. So it's actually good advice. This job is not for everybody. In fact, there's not many can do it. And it's not about the technical skill and the technical ability, which is what most people look for. And it's another part of the rant we had today, is just show me a strategy. I'll be fine with a strategy. No, you won't. You won't even be close. I could show you exactly what I do on that screen, word for word, and you still probably couldn't do it. Why? Because it takes a certain type of person to press the button at the right time, not only to go into the market at the right time, but to come out of the market at the right time. A little bit like what I've just done. And I'll highlight that. I'll flick this back over and I'll show you something. I killed it because I could see on my other screen this was reversing, because on my other screen I have my indicators on that tell me the pressure points. I didn't want to give that money back, and I don't want to sit through it anymore. So I made the decision to kill it. Now, yes, there's a red mark, but there's not many people will do that. They'll even hang on if it's 90 pence, 50 pence in the red, going, oh, it'll be fine. I just need it to go blue. I just need it to go blue. And then I'll kill it. But what happens? Doesn't go blue. It rockets off in the red. Whereas if you just gone click, you'd have been net positive and you'd have been fine. So up here is where you want to concentrate on. And you concentrate on your failure, not your wins. Because if you're concentrating on your wins all the time, you never know what your pain thresholds are. And if you don't know what your pain thresholds are, you'll always be in front of the freight train. And that's some of the things that come across to me. You know, I'll always answer your messages, but I can't always give you the answer you want. You know, all systems work. They genuinely do. If you know when to use them. That's the difference. Knowing when to use them. So something for you to think about. Do drop it in the comments below. Whatever you like. I answer every single one of them. And if you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If you think I'm right, excellent. Come join the community and we'll have another chat as well. But do keep the conversations going. I can't... How do I put this? What do I say to the guys all the time? I can give you everything I know, but I can't give you experience. And until you experience the failure, you'll never experience the success. There's something to think about. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed. Above all, do what you love and the money you want. See you all in the next one.